Back now at 8:18 with a story of how one courageous woman is reclaiming her life from a debilitating disease. Step by step, she's overcoming some of the limiting effects of multiple sclerosis with the help of loved ones and a revolutionary electronic device. The wind blows hard in Wyoming, yet Jonna Patton is walking without her cane. It's a huge step for the 36-year-old former athlete whose life changed dramatically when she was just 19.
I love the game of basketball. My dream was to play college ball. I did it.
I don't think we missed a game. It was so much fun.
Then it was my freshman year. I'm on the court. Running down, I had this intense feeling of tingling. It just was crazy. From head to toe, I couldn't feel the ball with my right hand. My right shoulder, my right arm, everything started getting really tight. As I got right under the basket, I had one thought: am I dying?
She had kind of collapsed to the floor and had a seizure. She'd never been sick before, never had any problems. It was a very scary time.
I had 2 hospitalizations, 3 misdiagnoses in 5.5 years before I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
As a mom, I start crying, and Jonna's like, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to cry. We have to be strong.
Jonna took time off. She traveled. She became a social worker, but her neurological condition worsened.
In 2000, I started the medication. I needed help. My legs weren't working right. I couldn't run anymore. You know, I was an athlete. It was my life. It was devastating. And I had to learn to accept it.
Then, 10 years after her diagnosis, Jonna started using a new electronic stimulating device, the Bioness L300, consisting of a cuff, a heel sensor, and a wireless remote controlled by Jonna. With the device off, her balance is clearly shaky, but once she turns it on, the results are literally uplifting.
Totally amazing. I can walk faster now with the device. I can kind of jog with the device.
Every time she takes a step, it automatically knows when to trigger the electricity based on the heel sensor. So it's a huge improvement in technology.
Having the device helped Jonna when she took an even bigger step down the aisle at her wedding this past summer.
I'd done it once before with my oldest daughter. And two best days of my life.
On my honeymoon, we hiked up Diamond Head Crater, and I would have never thought of doing that before.
Wow. And just the confidence that this thing gave her to be able to make that climb. And there's Jonna who climbed that whole thing.
I felt free, and the view was phenomenal.
She can actually shoot around now. She's riding a bike, and she hasn't been able to do that in years.
We bowl on a league now together. She loves it.
I call it my bionic leg, but I haven't fallen since I've gotten that. And that's huge. I have part of my life back.
And Jonna Patton is here with her husband, Tom. Dr. Michael Odell is professor of clinical rehabilitative medicine at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
You know, Jonna, you say in the piece, I can kind of jog. You jog better than me now. To see the difference from before and after with this device, and I know you're such a fan of it now that you've spoken at a couple of medical conferences about this Bioness device. When did you start using it? How long have you been using it? And what does the stimulation feel like?
I have been using it for approximately 2 years, and wow, it feels like an intense tingling feeling right where the electrodes are, and it's only seconds. I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything, but it's intense tingling, like when your foot falls asleep and it's coming back awake.
That sensation.
Yeah.
And then do you wear it all day long?
I don't have to anymore. I don't know, built myself, built the muscles in my leg.
So you've retrained the leg so you don't have to have the device if you don't need it, at least for certain times during the day.
Right.
So are you still going to physical therapy then?
I don't have to go all the time. I go when I need to get it recalibrated or, something adjusted on it.
Doctor, to me this is such an amazing story. I know you're not her doctor, but you've seen a lot of other patients who've had success with this device.
We've treated quite a few. Foot drop is actually very common in persons with multiple sclerosis. It's really an inability to raise the ankle and the toes when you're walking. As Jonna could tell you, the toes would clip the street or the sidewalk, and it makes it more likely to fall.
So how does this device work then?
It's actually very clever, the Bioness L300. It's a small sensor that sets in the heel. It senses when the heel is lifting off to ground, about to take a step, and wirelessly communicates with a stimulating device that sets just below the knee, as Jonna has, and stimulates a nerve that actually makes the foot and toes go up. It senses when the heel hits the ground, turns the device off, and it comes back down. It makes it easier to walk.
Who is a good candidate for this kind of device? Can anybody with MS use this? Or?
There are a couple points that are important to make. One is this is not a treatment for the underlying multiple sclerosis. It's treatment of a symptom. The second is that this device works for persons that have spinal cord and brain injury or damage. This is foot drop. You can also see from back surgery, from slip disc, from peripheral neuropathy. The device does not work on that. The two primary populations are stroke and multiple sclerosis. The third is that the device works best for folks that have fairly good range of motion at the ankle, pretty good strength at the knee and the hip. And this is not a device that takes somebody from being wheelchair dependent to a community ambulator. It's something that helps somebody who's walking pretty well walk much better.
Okay, so they already have to be walking fairly well with a cane.
With or without an assisted device.
And cost-wise, is this prohibitive or?
The device can actually be rented for about $500 a month. The cost of the device is about $6,000. Medicare currently does not cover this. It's variable among the insurance companies. Some do, many do not.
Many do not. And yours does, I take it?
It doesn't.
It does not?
It does not.
But it's worth it.
Oh, every penny. Every penny.
Tom, you met Jonna before she got this device. She told you on the second date that she had MS, so you knew the challenges she was facing. How has she changed?
No, I didn't understand MS at the beginning, but it became very obvious when I watched her walk. We couldn't even walk through the mall to begin with, and we had to think really hard about what we were going to do, because she couldn't walk very far. But since she's used this thing, I mean, we're hiking up mountains now. One of our goals is we want to hike up to the top of Pikes Peak one day. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. It's quite a hike. But
Jonna, you're such a show-off, I'm telling you. I bet you will. I bet you will. It's a good goal to have.
I've got to do it. It's, set a goal, got to go. Make it come true.
Jonna and Tom, thank you so much. Dr. Adele, thank you as well.